there's three fears. One, again, what people are going to think. Two, like, are you going to get rid of all of the stuff that you have been working for so far to pursue, a possibly fleeting passion that might not necessarily take off? And three, is this fear of being like valuable in music, right? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to touch on that really quickly, right? So we had a couple of different, me and Max were just talking about this offline, but we were talking about a couple of different people, right? Three people that I want to center on. Jay-Z, are you too old to start making music? Not even just for hobbies. That's what we're talking about today. And it's short, guys. It's going to be short. We are treating this stuff like family. I am here. Max is here. We are showing up ready to get it on, to get it done. All right? Sure. Queens Events 2. Hey, how you doing? Are you too old to start in music? But before we get started, Limitless. This book is absolutely heavy, and it's right exactly what we need to be talking about. Again, mindset, motivation, methods. Mindset, motivation, methods. Mindset, motivation, and methods. Those three things, you have that trifecta going on there, and honestly, you will be able to learn quicker. You will be able to there's a book that we read, it was really short, called Quantum Leap. Instead of, again, kind of making like little baby steps, which is great. You got to make those baby steps, but making a quantum leap, really requires some serious mindset, but motivation, and then also methods after that. So Max.
Yes, sir.
You good?
Absolutely. 100%.
That's a bet. Hey, Queens Events 2.
Everything.
Queens Events 2. Do you do, are you from the morning meetup? Just put a 1 in the chat if you're from the morning meetup. We always like to salute the morning meetup family. That's where we are. Okay. So my book bar is from page 23, right? And they're just talking about the digital deluge, which is, in this day and time, we are like just bombarded with all sorts of things, all sorts of information, all sorts of notifications just banging you out of control. The craziest thing is that the Jim Quick, the author, he's like 15th century, like the 1500s, humans were consuming the amount of information that we consume in 8 hours a day. In this time, they were consuming that amount of information in an entire lifetime. So, like, even if they was living for like 40 years or whatever like that, we're outdoing those people in terms of just the constant information, right? Mm-hmm. And these are one of the things that inhibit you from, learning quicker, getting to your goals, and just accomplishing whatever success means to you at that time, right? So my book bar, just to preface it a little bit, my book bar, is just, okay, so this is, preface this too. It's talking about like, they did an experiment, University of California, San Francisco, did an experiment with rats. Mm-hmm. And they, were just testing their brain waves and neurons and things like that. And it was like, new experiences will express new neural activity and new neurons in the brain. That is, if the rat is allowed to have downtime. So we're talking about having downtime, time where you just stop doing whatever you're doing, hop off social media, even family though too. You cannot, like, you got an infant, you got a teenager, for my folks who got, families and things like that. Downtime is a little bit more tricky, but you still have to have downtime, at least from the electronics and even from family members too, so that you can be able to be present in your business, so that you can be able to be present in your family and for friends, right? Yes. So it says, with downtime, the neurons made their way from the gateway of the rat's memory to the rest of the brain, where long-term memory is stored. The rats were able to record memories of their experiences, which is the basis of learning, being able to hold on to stuff without being bombarded with some new information that you got to put into your computer.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So, and this is the last part, doesn't that make you wonder what happens if you have downtime? There is a growing body of evidence that suggests that if we never let our mind wander or be bored for a moment, never let our mind wander or be bored for a moment, we pay a price. Poor memory loss, mental fog, and fatigue. Get in your downtime. Make downtime as imperative as eating or, again, making your posts, even practicing your instrument and things like that. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Max, what you got?
Yes, sir.
Chris, what's good, bro?
My book bar is at page 31, the last paragraph where he says, as I mentioned, I love the light side of technology, how it could connect us, educate us, and empower us, make our lives easier. What we've just described are a few potential drawbacks of technology, which is an inherent part of all the good that brings into our lives. Like fire, technology has changed the course of human history. However, fire can cook your food or burn your home down. It's all in the way you use it. So when you think about it, it just goes with anything you do in life, or even the information we're sharing with you guys. Depending on how you receive it or how you soak the information, it will depend on what you're going to do with it, how you use that information. Do you use it just to take notes and leave it aside, or you use it because you want to apply the information we're going to give you guys?
Exactly. I mean, I just be 100% like the internet. You can use the internet to, again, learn how to do a bunch of different things, or you can use the internet for 8 hours and like jerk off to Pornhub. You know what I'm saying? Or X video. So again, like it doesn't necessarily, like, it's just like you said, fire is useful or can just definitely destroy some things, if you're not being mindful about how you're using it. So we've been looking up some stuff. I've been looking up some stuff again, like thinking about, are you too old to begin music career? A lot of the folks that I've talked to, had consultations with, did some coaching, have done coaching with, these brothers and sisters are talented musicians who are thinking about going into the recording musician space. Singer-songwriters, you all are recording musicians as well, so this is applicable to you as well, right? So one of the major things is like that we have like started careers in something, and we're a lot older. We're not like, we're not 18, 19, 20 anymore. We're a lot older, and we're like, what, our values have changed. Our personalities have changed. Things that we deem to be successful now, in our more mature stages of life, were not what we deemed to be successful way back then. And I challenge the thought that, yes, you can get started in music later on. But here is how, and we're going to talk about that today.
Yes, sir.
What's up, everybody who just joined? We're talking to musicians, emerging musicians, and emerging singer-songwriters, who are at least over that 25. Listen, y'all, 25 and up. All right, 25 and up. 25 might seem young, but that's kind of old, you know what I'm saying, in the music game. Yeah. All right, so... But what we want to do here is just give you all some examples and provide some liberation, for the mind, right? So some of the main reasons why people end up doubting just starting a new career anyways is you got fear of what people, of what other people are going to think about you starting a new career. Again, your parents, if you don't live at home, or you could live at home, but you're an adult. And, you got your own stuff going, but your parents told you be the doctor, be the lawyer. And if you do anything else after that, you're washed from the family or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a hindrance right there. Is definitely fear about what others are going to think about what you're going to do. All right. Second part is retirement. Right. So this is for all of my, again, recording musicians who are thinking about getting started. You've been playing music, or you've been writing lyrics and writing songs. You've been working on your craft, but you're like, it don't necessarily make money. Plus, I'm too old. This, that, and the other. I don't know, like, what I can do. If it's even worth it for me. But I have a passion. I want to get some music out into the world. Right. Somebody on here is like that, and somebody watching this replay is going to feel exactly what I just said, right? So retirement, right? You know what I'm saying, that you work so long for, you're going to give up your retirement, stuff like that, to start something that you don't know is going to pay you no real dividends. Okay, fine, whatever. The last one is, are you too old? The fear that you're too old to be valuable, you know what I'm saying, for current, in current music. Right? So there's three fears. One, again, what people are going to think. Two, like, are you going to get rid of all of the stuff that you have been working for so far to pursue, a possibly fleeting passion that might not necessarily take off? And three, is this fear of being, like, valuable in music, right? So I wanted to touch on that really quickly, right? So we had a couple of different, me and Max were just talking about this offline, but we were talking about a couple of different people, right? Three people that I want to center on. Jay-Z.
Right.
Jay-Z was 28 when Ain't No Nigga Like the One I Got, and No One, when that jump popped off, like 1996, right? He was about 28, 27, somewhere around there. Reasonable Doubt. Music is a part of that, so no age. Right, exactly. There is no age for creativity. She said, listen, Queens events too, like, that was almost about to be the title. That's amazing that you ended up saying that. But yes, so Jay-Z is 1996, that's when the stuff ends up taking off, right? You know about Jay-Z's whole progress, right? From the 80s, he started beginning, his music career, that was like so he's born in 1969. The 80s is, let's say the 80s, like 80, 89, 87, 88, 89, he's somewhere around like that 17, 18, 19. So he's a young man, teenager, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. It's not until 1996, you feel me? Which is probably about, arguably, maybe, five, almost 10 years later, from when he gets started in the music industry, when he has his big break. Crucial part about that is that Jay-Z, you guys, some of you all know this, but Jay-Z, Biggs, and
Dame Dash,
right? Who can't forget about Dame Dash? Right. Jay-Z had been trying to get on. He was working with Jazzo. He was doing, which I learned watching the Big Daddy Kane show. He was doing background dances for Big Daddy Kane. Just in the music industry, just couldn't get a big break. Come like 27, 28, the record labels are like, he's too old. He was not marketable. The record labels was like, he was too old. But we all know the story about Jay-Z and what ended up happening there, right? Then you got Susan Boyle. Anybody know Susan Boyle? Like the Scottish woman from Britain's Got Talent. She came out there, yeah, I ain't gonna think about something that's not necessarily positive, but she came out there and really everybody underestimated her because they was like, yo, who is this Scottish nanny about to do some stuff? And she literally killed everybody. And Susan Boyle, her accolades in terms of like records sold, she had like two singles like in the charts, like in the same year, something like that, which was absolutely phenomenal. For like, she had two singles that was in the charts on the UK charts and the US Billboard charts, right? Which again wasn't done by a lot of different UK people. I think that's what they were talking about. And then there was Bill Withers. Mr. Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. Mr. Lovely Day, Mr. Lean on Me, Mr. Grandma's Hands.
Jeez.
All right. Bill Withers started at 29 years old. Bill Withers saw Lou Rawls at a concert and was like, yeah, you know what? I'm finna make some music. I'm finna go ahead and make some music.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm trying to check out the comments. I can't see the comments.
Yeah, let's just keep
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we don't even have time because I got to get out of here at 3:30.
Okay.
Okay, I'm looking at the Q&A and things like that. But I think that looking at the stuff, we can keep it going. And things like that. So I wanted to tell this about Bill Withers is that Bill Withers was working at IBM. He was working at he was a milkman apparently, according to some stories. He worked at different factories, all while he was like, listen, I'm finna record my demo tape. He recorded his demo tape, took his demo tape to Sussex Records. That's Clarence Avant.
Yeah.
Clarence Avant enjoyed it, signed him, and he's on, he's on since then. But he took his own bread, worked very hard, took his own bread and invested in himself. Jay-Z invested in himself.
Yep.
Susan Boyle continuously invested in herself. The difference between Bill Withers and, like, let's say Jay-Z and Susan Boyle, at least in the stories, is that Susan Boyle had been singing all her life. She had some training when she was growing up and things like that. But again, she thought that she was too old. It started in that mindset. Thought that she was too old, and she doesn't get on Britain's Got Talent. She has some minor success here and there, but she doesn't get on until Britain's Got Talent until she's in her in her late 40s, y'all.
Right.
Late 40s. Late 40s. Singer-songwriters, late 40s. Telling you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's so imperative to understand that. So, Max, I don't think that we'll have time to keep going too deep into it. I wanted you to, man, again, share something, with the folks.
Yep.
Wise Human, what's up? What's going down? What's going down? We're making it short today. We're about to hop on out of here. But again, we're about to give you guys some of these keys as what you need to do if you're thinking about beginning a career in music past like 25, right? You've already got like a career. You've already like are in a track going somewhere, but you're like, you know what? This is not serving me. I've got music to get out. I've got music to be produced. I've got music. I've got things to write for people. This today's live is for you. Okay, Max, go for it, bro.
Yeah, man. Ideally, when we look at the reasons why a lot of artists or even creatives think that it's too late for them,
yeah,
it usually comes down to many things. But we have to understand that life experience gives you a creative advantage. When you think about it, the older you get, the more things you have to talk about. You may have traveled in many places. You may have gone through a lot of breakups, different business relationships that went sour or whatnot, depending on how things went. But you got to take those experiences and look at it as wisdom that you could share with your audience, whether it's
exactly
or even writing songs. And another point I wanted to talk about was the fact that you want to drop the idea of, that you're too much or you're not enough. Put yourself in a perspective where you could tell yourself, I am enough. I could do this simply because I was able to start out the way I did, and I wanted to start out the way I did, And as soon as you understand that your music could resonate with someone in a way where people give you positive feedbacks, then that's when you can keep going with what you're doing. And you got to ask yourself, how do I talk to myself? If you're able to talk to yourself in a positive manner, then that's going to give you a boost.
That positivity is so imperative. There's mindset, motivation, and then your methods, right? So you got to be talking to yourself correctly. Got to be telling yourself, hey, listen, like, it's not too late for me to make music. Like you were just saying, Max, again, with those stories, people want to buy stories. Sex, love, even, doing drugs, hustling, having babies, what else? All these different things. They've already been talked about already. Here's what you get paid for. Singers, songwriters. Here's what you all get paid for is crafting the music, having depth to your music, obviously being able to write to tell stories. That's what you get paid for, is being able to tell stories. Having a new perspective, a new idea about how to sing about love, a new idea about how to, again, singing about cheating. Yeah. Smokey Robinson's got a song called Ecstasy and Agony, where he's talking about, again, an affair that he had, but it's an awesome song. Y'all need to go check that thing out. Ecstasy and Agony. I mean, it's an awesome song. It's sweet, but he's talking about, again, messing up a relationship and being, wanting to be involved with another woman or his relationship with another woman, although, I feel like he still loves his wife who he's with or something like that. But again, sells a lot of records because people have been through that. Mm-hmm. And he was a grown man, though. You understand what I'm saying? Writing that music. So he's able to tell that story. Again, you're not too old because you have those experiences. Let me see here. 327. I got to roll. Okay, so your age is your strength, right? Not a weakness. You have life experiences. This is my stuff. You're able to navigate the music industry a lot better. So you're not like a little youngster who gotta go out to the parties, who got to be doing all this, that, and the other, unless it's a part of your brand, right? You're ready to work. You feel me? We watched, Max you sent me that, an episode, I believe I believe it was Ray Daniels, right? The music executive who was talking about, he was like, look, no. It wasn't that. Oh, I think it might have been Teddy Riley. Was it something about Teddy Riley you saw?
It was Ray Daniels.
Ray Daniels, okay. So he's talking about, right, cheating songs do be the best songs. So he's talking about how he tells musicians, listen, forget going out to the club. Just stay in the studio. Live, breathe, and eat the studio because you are at work. Unless you were going out for an event to be seen or something like that, you need to stay out the studio. Stay out of the clubs, because you're short-circuiting your again, we talked about 10,000 hours, right? We talked about the 10,000 hours. And how you get in your 10,000 hours at the studio? Mm-hmm. Excuse me, at the club, dropping money, dropping bread. Again, when you're older, you're a lot more understanding of, listen, what are my values? I'm trying to tell you, when I was 21, 22, 23, I still used to go to the strip club and stuff like that. But when I'm that age, I'm like, listen, I can't be out here dropping my money out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm working in a kitchen 15-hour days, doing my culinary, my chef and stuff. I'm not about to be dropping. I'm looking at getting paid peanuts, getting paid practically $3 an hour, and I'm finna drop $10 on a stage. I ain't about to drop $10 on a stage, let alone $300.
That's when you start counting the amount of hours you have to work to do that.
Exactly, bro. I start counting all that type of stuff, and I'm a younger man at that point. But again, that's one thing that you understand, is you understand how to navigate the industry. You have a better understanding of what your needs are and the capital to achieve these things. That was one of my major things, is that you don't have capital. I got to pull off too. Sure. But you don't have capital. I'm going to keep talking though. You don't have capital to get started, right? You know what I'm saying? But when you're an older person, you can even leverage some of your retirement money. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of I'm not getting a little bit of feedback, but anyway, I'm gonna keep it going, all right? Because this is what ends up happening when you try to have some good stuff going on. All right, so you understand what you need, and you got the capital to do it, right? You funding your own thing, because funding your own projects, period. You understand what I'm saying? So you have some of the capital to invest in studio stuff. You have some of the capital to invest in some of your music production equipment and to actually turn a place into a studio, right? So, you know, I need a music degree. Again, the music degree is going to take you time. I'm not crapping on my brothers and sisters who are going to school, getting music degrees and things like that. But you, again, if you're older and you go to school, or you invest in a coach, you know, or you, again, invest in the singer-songwriter, you know what I'm saying? You're investing in how to attract those gigs once you know how to make those songs. You know, you have a better understanding of yo, what do I need to do to I don't got 10,000 hours, you know, immediately. I need to cut that time in half. And the best way to cut down that time in half with those 10,000 hours is to hijack somebody else's 10,000 hours, y'all. Somebody else who has already done it, right? So, I need to, I'm looking at the time again. We're not able to finish it. We might have to do a part 2. So we're breaking up. Guys, listen, like, we thoroughly appreciate everybody. I'm seeing a little bit of feedback and stuff like that. I'm driving. But knowing what your values are, I don't even have anything to pitch. Listen, stay locked in with me and Max. Tap on in. I might be fuzzy, but man, listen, y'all have a blessed day. We will definitely tap in a little bit later. I appreciate you, Max. I'm driving. I'm out here in the country, man. You know what I'm saying? Until next time, you guys. Let's get it. Peace.